He's so cute. Cute. I'm Natalie.
I'm Samuel.
And we're going to tell you our love story. Because we met in the Philippines in 2018. And now we're married and we live in the United States. So that's kind of wild.
So she was a missionary in the Philippines and
I was hot.
So she was a missionary in the Philippines.
And he saw me and he was like, wow, ganda naman ang babae na ito. So one day, so like, when you're a missionary, you like you serve in like different areas. So there's a place in the Philippines called Legazpi, and that's where he lived. And he was like in the same church as me. So I went there on the first Sunday, and he was there, and I do remember him the first day, because I remember he like got up to make a comment in class in Sunday school, and he was like, I don't remember what he said, but he said, and he like had an American accent, and I was like, who are you? No, he had when he talks, he has an American accent, and he's never lived in the U.S. up to this point. So anyway, that was my first impression of him.
So my first impression of her was, she was charming. Yeah, I fell head over heels for her. The first time.
It's because I was puti.
The first time that I saw her, I was surprised, because she was beautiful in my eyes.
And he was beautiful in my eyes. But I was a missionary, and missionaries aren't allowed to date people. So it's funny, because so when you're a missionary, you get invited to dinner sometimes at like people's houses. So we went to dinner at their house, and I was like, bro, this kid likes me. I'm like, I am a missionary. Stop.
I tried to be low key about my crush on her. So my dad is a diplomat. He works for the Philippine government. He got his call to work in Canada. So that's why my family had to move to Canada.
So I was still a missionary in Legazpi, and his family moved to Canada. And he, before he left, he wrote me a letter, thank you for your service letter, which wasn't that. It was like you are beautiful.
It was more of a letter of appreciation, a letter of gratitude, just expressing my thanks for her being a missionary.
It was obvious he had a crush on me. And we had talked a little bit up to this point, but the thing is, like, I didn't find it creepy. Like, I was like low-key into him too, because, look at this, he's cute. But like, I was a missionary, and like, when you're a missionary, you're like, I sing to the glory of God. I was trying to like kind of ignore him, and he wrote the letter, and I was like, why? Because I was like, no, I like really like you. But he didn't like leave any like contact information. He was like, you're amazing. And then he just like got on a plane and moved across the world. And I was like, okay. So then I sat and I waited. And then like a few months later, his mom emails me, and she was like, hi, Nata, or Sister Grenfell. I was like, I hardly even talked to you when I was serving in your ward. I mean, I liked his family. Like, his family was nice, but it's not like I was like BFFs with everyone in his family or anything. And I was like, people don't just email you like that unless you were like actually friends with them. And I was like, what?
Yeah. I remember when my mom told me about it, I got really upset at her because I didn't want her to talk to her or reach out to her and ask her for her contact information,
but Mama Duck knows what's up.
Yeah, apparently. So I got really upset at her, but I got over it for a few days, and then I was like, okay, Mom, could you help me out?
And then this part of the story weirds me out the most. So he had an interview with his bishop, and his bishop was like, do you like any girls? Or something like that. I don't know. Like, I wasn't there. And his bishop was like, do you like any girls? And he was like, no. And then his mommy and daddy were like, he likes his sister missionary in the Philippines. And Samuel was like, I mean, yeah, sure, I wrote her a letter, blah, 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 or something like that. I don't know. Tell me if I said that wrong.
Yeah. So I had an interview with the bishop, and the bishop had this prompting after I told him about Natalie, that I should reach out to her and
write another letter. So unbeknownst to me, I just have occasionally emailed his mom being like, why am I doing this? Why am I emailing his mother? And then we have a zone conference. We get our mail during zone conferences, which is like once every 6 weeks. And I get this thick letter from Samuel Albello. And I'm like, what? So anyway, he writes a letter. He tells me about his bishop. I'm sitting there like, girl, I've like low-key had a crush on you, like long distance. Like, I know I don't even like talk to you, but I was like, okay, this is weird. So then the next Monday, when we're allowed to email, I email his mom and I'm like, hey, can you give me Samuel's email? Because I was like, this boy keeps like talking to me. I emailed him and I was like, stop. Even though like I totally had like a little crush on him, I was like, you live in Canada, I'm moving back to the US, right now I'm in the Philippines, I have like 4 months to go. No. And then I was like, don't email me.
Yeah, I remember that part. She basically turned me down after the first...
I mean, who wouldn't? It was creepy. He was just writing letters to me.
After the first email. And it broke my heart. Because she was like...
He thought I was like creeped out by him or like didn't like him. I feel like when I wrote the email, I was like, hey, like, I kind of like you, but like, I don't think this is going to work out because you live far away from me, even when I'm home from my mission. But like, I don't know. Just talk to me when I get home.
Yeah, so after she sent me that email, I was kind of sad about the email. So I sort of told her, okay, thanks. At least,
yeah, he emailed back
for letting me...
Even though I told him not to.
Thanks for letting me email you.
So then he emailed me, and then when I got that, I was like not expecting him to email me back. I was like, okay, we can email. That's fine. I guess I'll open up my boundaries. I'll let us email. So then we emailed for like a few weeks. Mm-hmm. And like, let me tell you, this kid, he got deep real quick. And he was like, this is who I am, you know. I don't know, like, it was like reading a Myers-Briggs personality outcome. I'm like, I am this, and this. What are you? And we wrote like really long emails to each other. And then after a few weeks, I was like, hey, this is weird. Let's stop writing emails. And I said that again. And so we stopped for like a few weeks. And then we started again for some reason until the end of my mission. And then I got home. I was allowed to get on Facebook. And I friended him and messaged him. A few days after I got home to the US, we video called. So, okay, we video called. It was a little weird, but, you know, we video called again. And then, like, March, April, May. We actually started dating, like, less than a month after I got home. And it was long distance. So he, like, asked me to be his girlfriend. It was really cute. He, like, video called me. And he played the, can I have this dance? And he, like, held up signs to the camera that's like, will you be my girlfriend? Which I think I still have those signs in our closet back there.
And I had to wear a suit.
He didn't have to wear a suit. He just wore a suit because he was cute. We started dating, and remember, we were long distance. He was in Canada. I was in the US. He visited me in July, over the 4th of July that year. And that's when we had our first kiss together. And also, it was both of our first kiss at all. We'd never dated anyone else. Because we actually both very much have the personality of, like, when you like someone, you really like them, even if you don't talk to them a lot. And I think he was kind of the same way. And then we met each other, and we could be the same way, like, of that, like, with each other. So I think that personality trait helped us, like, long distance really easily too, because we were able to like be madly in love with like someone without like always being with them. Like, don't get me wrong, I prefer to be with him. He visited me, then I visited him for Thanksgiving, then he visited me for Christmas, so kind of back to back. And then COVID hit, so we didn't see each other for like 9 months because you know, no one can really travel that well. When he visited for Christmas in Utah, he was like, I'm gonna apply to BYU, which is where I was going to school, and he's like, I'm gonna apply to BYU and come live near you. And I was like, do it, because we're dating long distance and we have no plan. So he applied to BYU, he got in, and it was like a really hard thing for him to get into. Not like because he like didn't have credentials, but because like
The whole pandemic.
it was like the pandemic.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to take his English exam, which he's supposed to take an English exam since he's an international student. Obviously, you can hear him. He sounds like he was raised in the United States. I don't know why. He doesn't know why either. He moved here in August or the end of September of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And then we dated, not long distance, and then he proposed in January.
On her birthday.
On my birthday. And then we got married in May. And now we're expecting to graduate. So anyway, that's our wonderful love story that is superior to all love stories because we lived in 3 different countries in our dating experience, but now we live together. Thanks for watching our love story. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below.